I'm Theron Q Ramacharaka. And now my bladder is galled. Now my up is riled. This is a political speech. I need to learn some self-mastery over here, you know what I mean? No, I'm not riled up at all. I'm kind of amused. And I want to pass something along to you, but first, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, please. It's a request. That sounds like a command. If you like the channel, please remember to subscribe to it. Click on the notification bell thing. And share it with others. Share it with others, you know. Let others and share in the joy, in the treat of the TQR channel. Okay, that all having been said, as a kindly request. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't, you don't. But at least I've reminded you now. Okay, moving on. My wife just told me that the governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is really pushing for something about, giving every Pennsylvanian a check. And then she said the next thing, and this is the really important one right here. While that's going on with the governor of Pennsylvania, at the federal level of affairs, there are now, there's a lot of talk going on about impeaching Joe Biden. Okay, that's the first I heard of it. I don't pay attention to the news much because, it's pretty much the same set of things over and over again. A different date, maybe a different person involved. I mean, it's the same basic formula, or categories of things that happen, It's going to be about a war, or it's going to be about a death toll, or it's going to be about, somebody going to get impeached now any day, or, the same basic stuff, right? The news. Okay. So I don't pay attention to it. So my wife just filled me in. First I heard of there being talk about impeaching President Joe Biden. But it doesn't surprise me. The last several presidents have been the same thing. Donald Trump. Oh, yeah, we're going to impeach Trump. There are impeachment hearings going on. You can hear them on the radio. Tune in every day. CNN or whatever it is, turn on the radio. Right at lunch break, they always broadcast what's going on in the Senate now about it, over in the House and Congress this, and, Vice President this, about the impeachment. Well, before that, I don't know if there was talk about that with George W. Bush, but there was about Obama, right? Obama's fake. He's not even American. He wasn't born on American soil. His last name is what? I forget. His real last name, Barry Satoma or something like that. What? Good grief, He wasn't even born in the United States. He's not American. He's an illegal president. Impeach him! Don't do anything he says. He's not a real president. There was that with him. There was with Clinton, Bill Clinton. Shenanigans going on. Get rid of them. They're bad people. I mean, even Richard Nixon wasn't fully, 100% full-blown impeached. Didn't he resign before that? And then there are a couple levels of impeachment, too, from what I know, which isn't a lot about this type of stuff. There's the kind of impeachment where it's like they walk you to the door, take your security card, and you're out. That's that, I think. And then another form where you remain president or something like that, or you don't have to leave, physically depart the premises. You're not actually thrown out. You lose some power or something or whatever, but I think you can keep your lifetime benefits after leaving. It's kind of like just a paperwork thing, the impeachment, something like that. Anyway, here's my point. But guys, of course they're going to talk about impeaching Biden. I mean, it's become a trend by now. There's a pattern established. It's the new thing. I'm not saying it's not real or that it's all contrived. I'm not saying it. Hey, these things could be true too that I just suggested, but no, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I'm saying it's a trend. It's a pattern. It's a pattern. And Joe Biden, as far as I know, has been kind of like a slug. I don't know. I don't pay attention to it. I don't know what he's doing or not doing. I don't vote for any of these people. None of them. You know? I don't know them, for one. I don't know them. You know? Hell, if I had somebody, you know, like, if I had my choice of who I could have as a next door neighbor, I would have it. You know, hey, I want this guy over there. I want her over there. I don't want that guy. You know, I want that one. If I knew people, you know, if I could have that choice. Well, how about president of the country? If I'm going to be voting for somebody, I want to know the person. At least. I don't know any of these a-holes, jack-offs, whatever. I don't know them, man. I don't know them. So, you know, impeach all of them for all I care. I mean, for God's sakes, man. Anyway, that's how I feel about it. But my point is, this impeachment stuff is serving. If it wasn't forethought to be this, at least in effect now, it's serving this whole impeachment thing every damn term nowadays, right? We got a pattern, 3 in a row. That establishes a pattern, guys. It keeps people divided. You know, and blasting the news with this, like this is the number one issue in the country now, except for, you know, like who won the game? Who won the Super Bowl this year? Aside from that kind of thing, that kind of triteness, it's going to be a big, you know, news thing. You know, you can be, let's say you work on the road, you know, you drive a lot, you're a cop, whatever. You know, you just keep the radio on to CNN now because, you know, this is important. This is going to have an impact on your paycheck, on your job, and so forth. So, you know, you just stay tuned. You keep up on what's going on with the whole impeachment thing. You know? And if you want Joe Biden in office, well, you're going to get pretty sided over onto that because you're going to hear a lot of jeering from the one side, from the one camp to the other. You know? This is a way to, you know, it's a very good way to keep people riled up against each other and confused. Over one of the two most sensitive subjects in people's lives, usually, religion and politics. It keeps people on edge. And feeling antagonism from half the population, you know, the Republican side or the Democratic side. This is, you know, more, you know, it serves to further the divide and conquer thing that just happens. You know? The totalitarian tiptoe, divide and conquer, you know, the Hegelian dialectic, however you want to put it. You know, you just keep people in opposition with one another and confused about what's really going on. Make people take sides and keep pouring it into them, this unrest. It's a good way to do that. I mean, you know, election year is a big thing. You know, you can just focus on that. You know, Republicans this, Democrats that. You know, if I were president, I'd put you in jail. If you're president, I'll impeach you. Whatever. God. And now here's Joe Biden too. Well, it doesn't surprise me, number one. And number two, I'm suggesting to you, as a student and practitioner of self-mastery and personal evolvement, to be careful to not get caught up in that effect that this has on people. You know, if you're interested in it politically, fine. If you're interested in knowing what's going on with an impeachment process, well, tune in once in a while, find out. But look, you start taking sides and talking about them guys and us guys, us good guys and them bad guys. Be careful. Put yourself in check and ask yourself how much of this thinking and feeling and emotionality and talk on your part is because of the outside influences, the consciousness hijacking influences from outside, because the stuff is on the news, it's happening again, it's just to be expected from these guys, and that other side over there on the other side of the aisle, they just can't see the truth. Don't get yourself into that, okay? Because that signals that you have been affected by this in exactly the way that coincides with divide and conquer schemes. Whether this is a scheme or not, I'm not saying. Things, I will tell you, have more than one cause when it comes to people and groups of people and their behavior. It's not just one cause, so part scheme, part not, maybe. There are probably many elements involved in why it's going this way with presidencies now. One thing it does serve to do is create havoc among the people. If there was just, talk about an impeachment process, impeachment hearings now and then, interspersed with a lot of other news, and there weren't these people who create strong sides, like debates in the newsroom. And then you get into the fake news phase of it. And, it just really tears people up against each other, man. Just be careful. Put yourself in check and ask yourself, how much of my behavior, my thinking, and my feeling right now when it comes to the event, the president, and by God, the people I have to live around, is coming from that influence. The influence of the media and mass mind control due to it. Don't let yourself get caught up in that. Because that has nothing to do with, like progress in self-mastery or mental discipline or personal involvement. That's letting other people control your mind. And if you don't have control over it, somebody else will. Okay. All right. I'm Theron Q Ramacharaka. Be well. Impeach that bastard!